a very high emotion, feeling separation, intense as love for Krishna. So this is a very nice song, and unfortunately, if you have your internet, you can just search Jay Anilo and it'll come up. Otherwise, just listen, we'll read the translation. It's a short song. Thank you. Kahamora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan seki, seki, seki. Shokure, shokure, shokure. Mayurma, mayurma, mayurma. Tamarashi, tamarashi, rashi. Raku, raku, raku. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll just read a quick translation. Yeah, they're saying in English, absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, when you lose something, you think about it much more, right? So, when a great saintly person leaves this world, we know for him, they've gone to the spiritual world. It's not like we're crying for them, but we're missing their association. So, he's just listing some of the great personalities. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where is it? Someone like Advaita Acharya gone? If you're a little familiar, you know these, but the sentiment is what we're worried about. Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where is my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? Where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Gauranga, the great dancer, go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees in whose association he performed pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. So that's We'll get into more down-to-earth thing right now. And just offer a prayer to the Guru. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarane. So I was thinking, what can I say? We have a mixed crowd of new people, people that have been around devotees for a long time. We have all different cultural backgrounds. So what can I say for everybody? The one thing we all have in common is Krishna is in our heart. So that if we connect with Krishna, then there's no barrier, there's no consideration of all those things. And also I was looking at Srimati Radharani. She's noted for sweet talking, and Krishna is an expert talker. He spoke Bhagavad Gita as a 5-year-old boy. The Brijbasis not to worship Indra, which was a big thing for them. And he's considered a very clever talker, but he's the best talker. No one else can speak Bhagavad Gita. So if we all pray to Krishna and Radharani, that they can use me to say something that might benefit us, then that will help. We want to thank everybody for coming. We know you're in exciting New York City, and there's so many things you could be doing on Sunday night, right? So much, but this is the best place to be. So I saw we're giving out invitations for Thanksgiving dinner. That's a very important concept, giving thanks. This particular Thanksgiving Day is something we don't really want to remember the history of the original one and all the things, and the current celebration of it is not mentionable in the temple. But the idea of giving thanks is very important. The gratitude. Attitude is everything, we say. Like, it's not, exactly what you say or what you do, but what's your attitude. That's what people are looking for. If you go to apply for a job, the personnel managers, they're concerned with your attitude more than your abilities or your education or your physical beauty or any of those things, but your attitude. And Krishna, same thing. If we have a service attitude, and the Guru and Krishna, they'll be very pleased. That's true for anybody. Anybody that has a very humble attitude of service, we're naturally like that person. And so Krishna is noted. He has so many qualities, wonderful qualities. But one of them is gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's supposed to be an action. So Krishna, it says if somebody does even the slightest thing for him, some very small service rendered, he thinks right away, what can I do to repay this person? This is real gratitude. And if somebody does something against Krishna, even very big, he doesn't really concern too much with that. But if you do anything for Krishna, he will think how I can pay back. That's real gratitude. Reciprocation. In English, I only heard this a few times, but some people say, I'm obliged. In Portuguese language, they say obrigado. Obrigado means I'm obliged. I want to do something for you. You've done something for me, so I want to do something for you. And then you say, no, it's all right. You're welcome. It's nothing. In Spanish, they say de nada. It's nothing. Right? And spasibo is something about God. But so it's a common thing. You give thanks. Prayers mean giving thank you. Even Christians and religious people say that. Even non-religious people. They say we should, when we wake up in the morning, we should be thinking all the things we're thankful for. They say if you can't think of anything to be thankful for, you can be thankful for things you don't have, like you don't have cancer, you're not homeless, or you don't have, some, terrible things happening. But be thankful. It's this gratitude and thinking, what can I do? Of course, everything is really coming from Krishna. So we are really grateful to Krishna and thinking, how can I serve Krishna? Some people will say, well, what has he done for me? I'm not rich, I'm poor. But you're breathing air. You have a planet which is perfectly suited for human bodies. We have sunlight, we have water, all these things Krishna has given us. They're all Krishna's energies. So this is very important. So when we think about this Thanksgiving, I hope none of you, but many people, what do they think of Thanksgiving nowadays? Besides the horrible dinner, the next day, right? Black Friday, right? Everybody knows about that? When all the stores have supposedly big discounts. So people camp out all night waiting to go get cheap stuff. They fight inside the store with each other. They both grab something at the same time. People get killed. It's Kali Yuga. It's a very insane time. So we're trying to, connect with the sanity that Krishna is in everyone's heart, and everything is coming from Krishna, and we should be thankful. There's a story, someone said I was crying because I didn't have any shoes, but then I saw a man with no feet, and then I felt thankful. So at least I have shoes, or I have feet. So like that, many people, no matter how much we get, we're just thinking, well, someone has got more than me, why didn't I get it? But we should be thankful for whatever we have. And if anybody does anything for us in any way, we should say thankful. I lived in Japan for some time, and traditionally in Japan it was just ordinary people always saying arigato, arigato, thank you. Now, not so much. Now it's like, I need more. It's changing, but still, it's there, but not as formal. It becomes kind of like, thanks a lot. Thank you very much, okay. Thank you for shopping here. because I made a profit, right? But we should be thanking Krishna. Somebody shopped in mine. We're thanking you for coming here. We know it's for your own good, but we're happy to have a crowd. We're happy to see people making an offering to Krishna. This offering a light. It's a traditional thing to offer Krishna light, and even outside of religion, people offer lights. People come from all over the world on Elvis Presley's birthday to Memphis, and they all hold up a candle, But in this place, offering to Krishna, it's supposed to be welcoming Krishna back into our life. We've been separated for so long. Then, if we meditate on that, and we want everyone to see Krishna. We want to shine the light. Light means knowledge. Darkness is ignorance. Where there's light is Krishna. Darkness is Maya. So we want light. We want knowledge of everything, but knowledge of Krishna. We have knowledge of Krishna. If you have Krishna, since everything comes from Krishna, not everybody will believe that, but where else is it coming from? From God. He's the creator. Anyone that has a definition of God, they must have that idea. Those that don't believe in God, they still believe that there's a creation somehow or other. It happened with no explanation. So we'd like everybody to, thank, there's a religion in Japan that's called Seicho Niue. It's not so well known group. But their thing is, even I lived in Japan, but I didn't know about it. Then I was in Hawaii, and I was going to one therapist there, and he was also a karate teacher. He was Japanese. So the people in this religion, they're always saying arigato, whatever happens. Someone smashes their car, they get out, they thank you, arigato, arigato. And they say nothing bad ever happens to them. So he had the karate school, and all the students it was not contact karate, and they would be going, and then every once in a while, though, somehow mistaken, somebody would punch the other one, and they would say, arigato. But sometimes they'd say, you stupid, you punched me again. But he taught them to say thank you. I needed that, It's a very important. I saw on Oprah Winfrey, they had that Dr. Phil, the big, I don't know, he works with divorce a lot and that kind of things. So he had a couple, he showed how he worked, that husband and wife, they're just ready for divorce. They're just like, got the lawyer, both of them have their lawyer, and they're ready to go. And he gets them together, and he says to the husband, please tell your wife all the things she does that you don't like. So he lists off a bunch of things. And then he asks the wife, did you know that? Did he ever tell you? No. So he tells the wife, say, thank you, I needed that. And then tells the wife, now you tell your husband all the things he does that you don't like. And she tells him, and then he asks the husband, and he says, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And then you say, thank you, I needed that. And from that, he gets them to, start to communicate, and get back together and appreciate each other's good qualities and communicate better. So generally if someone gives us a gift, we want to say thank you. If you give someone a gift and they don't say thank you, you're not going to be very inclined to give them another gift, right? But if somebody's very grateful and thankful and saying, oh, I don't deserve it, and what can I do for you? You feel you want to give them more. So we're dealing with Krishna, everyone is, with Allah or Jehovah or whatever you want to call the Supreme Person. But if we're thankful, naturally, He appreciates. If we thank Him, well, thank you, you've given me, I woke up again this morning and I can still function and I have something to do and I have food. People don't realize, if you have a house and you have food every day and you have water, you have more than a very big percentage of the people in the world. So are we thankful for that, or are we thinking I should get more? We should be thankful and humble and think, what can I do to reciprocate? Children are supposed to be taught to be thankful and for all what the parents did for them. So when the parents get old and helpless, they become like babies sometimes, old people. The children want to take care of them. They feel like my parents took care of me when I couldn't communicate, when I needed everything done for me, and so I will do it for them also. Gratitude. And then that makes everything good. So I was just going to read. So everybody try to think of all the things you can be thankful for. Should be a very long list, actually, if we really got into it. Everything we have, we should be thankful. Somebody helped us to get whatever we have, starting with your parents, and throughout our life, many people helped us that we don't even know about. And there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that we have so many debts. We owe our parents, we owe our ancestors who, carried on the family line so we could take birth. And then everyone who's done anything for us, and the teachers, and the government, and all the way up to the demigods who are supplying air and water and sunlight and all the things like that. And it's impossible to pay back. There's too many, and we couldn't even know everyone. But it can be paid back in one punch by surrendering to Krishna, by realizing, okay, I'm going to offer everything I have, because ultimately all these people who help me, it's all arranged by Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So we have family, of course, we should love the family. If you have children, you should love your children. But Krishna gave you those children, so we should also acknowledge that. Not forget that. Many people think, well, I did this, I worked hard, I don't need God, I worked, I did this, I gave birth, I impregnated, I made the money, I did everything. No, Krishna did it through you. whatever anybody does for us, Krishna's doing it through them. Not that we ignore them, we have to appreciate that they were willing to be used by Krishna, to be empowered to do something to help, So it's just interesting to think, because seeing a lot about this Thanksgiving and this abominable way that the people observe it, in general. So we try to have a feast also, but Krishna Prasadam, and try to think to give thanks to Krishna. Like Christians, I don't know anymore, before eating they would thank God or Jesus for this food. That was very good. When I was a child, my family did a quick prayer, and I remember when I was in high school, they stopped doing it, and I thought, what happened, but didn't really think about it much after that. But we try to take that much further, and when we're cooking, we're thinking this is for Krishna. Krishna will eat. We want to feed Krishna. We're not thinking of our own eating. We're thinking of Krishna's, and we want to make it nice for Krishna. We want to have very clean and pure and best ingredients and good atmosphere, and doing it out of love. Even people know cooked out of love is good. Some restaurants will say we prepared with love, but not always love for the God, love for the money they're going to get. But your mother's cooking is the best thing for you, and then your wife after that, because hopefully they're cooking with love. The mother is cooking for the pleasure of the child, nourishing the child. Nowadays, though, many children, the mothers don't cook. They just send them, give them some money and say go somewhere and eat, Or they just have a microwave dinner and just take whatever you want, stick it in the microwave. So there's no loving exchanges. Husband and wife, it used to be that, the man ate the wife's cooking all the time. They become very attached. But nowadays, no, not eating in restaurants all the time, both of them, never home. So it becomes a problem. But we're cooking for Krishna because we know he gave us everything. He's the one that provided the land, the sunlight, the water, so fruits and vegetables could grow, and grains. He gave us the ability and the fire so we can cook, and the intelligence how to cook. So we want to offer it all to Krishna first. And there's no loss, though. Krishna can eat it, but it's still there afterward. Different than ordinary people. And Krishna appreciates the devotion. So he tells us in Bhagavad Gita, whatever patram, fruit, water, leaf, that's vegetables, offered to me with devotion, he will accept it. And then it becomes spiritual. Like we serve food, we say food, but it's actually Krishna Prasadam, spiritual food. Right after this talk, and everybody is waiting. I remember when I first went to the temple, I was saying, when are we gonna eat? I know all this already. I've heard this a million times, and let's get to the real thing here, the food. So that's all right, because that's also spiritual. That's it. Prasadam means mercy. But after a while, we like to hear about Krishna, even though we've heard it before. Just like we've eaten so many times, we always like to eat again. We've heard about Krishna, we've chanted. Like we ask, who's come here for the first time? Can you raise your hand again? Anybody came for the first time? thank you for coming. So you can only do that once, right? First time. But when we become spiritually advanced, it always seems like the first time. Every time you chant, it's like I never did this before. Wow, this is so wonderful. Every time we read the Bhagavad Gita, it's like a newer and fresher new book, because that's the nature of Krishna. It's ever fresh, ever spiritual. And the same thing when we take prasadam. It's also fresh, and we should. The more we become purified, the more we think. We don't think, oh, I've been to kirtan before, I've heard this song before. No, we think, wow, this is so great. I never really heard it before. I never paid attention before. It becomes newer and fresher all the time. That is the nature of Krishna. So we hope all of you, can get some taste. You're coming here, so that's special mercy also, that the Lord in your heart guides you to come here instead of all the other places we could go. And you get to hear the holy name of Krishna and offer something to Krishna. Krishna appreciates that so much, and he's reciprocating in the heart. You'll get some happiness. We don't promise you'll get rich or you'll never get sick or anything like that. This is the material world. But you will rise above it and not be disturbed by all the ups and downs and madness of this temporary material manifestation. So I'll stop, and if there's any questions. Yes, sir. Yes. Can somebody give him the microphone? We had a microphone. I can't really hear what you said.
Prabhupada said something specific about Thanksgiving.
Don't be what?
Prabhupada said something specific about the term Thanksgiving.
I'm sorry, but it's just not coming through.
He's saying, I don't know if it's a question, Prabhupada saying something specific about Thanksgiving.
Prabhupada said something specific
About this Thanksgiving Day, I never heard of it. But giving thanks, he talked about a lot. Prabhupada always said thank you. For the smallest thing anybody did, he'd say thank you very much, thank you very much. And he meant it. He was not just, making a show. Thank you very much, like.
Prabhupada used the term Thanksgiving. Where is the possible of Thanksgiving?
I did thanksgiving, I say giving thanks. Being thankful, being grateful, it's a major quality of anybody, but especially a devotee, to be giving thanks. I have no idea if I never heard he talked about, those things. If anybody even ever told him about Thanksgiving Day, that's not important.
Prabhupada connected it to thou shalt not kill. And Prabhupada said, where is the possibility of thanking God for killing the turkeys? God says thou shalt not kill, he doesn't say kill turkeys. So Prabhupada connected it in that way.
We said that about catching fish, but I don't know specifically, but the point is that gratitude is the best attitude. That, it's the best attitude is gratitude. Thank you very much. But not just saying thank you, but thinking, what can I do to reciprocate? In real culture, if someone gives me a donation, I should think, I have to give back more than this person gave me. And then that person will think, well, I have to give back more again. And it never-ending exchanges of always trying to reciprocate more than you got. And ultimately that should be with God, with Krishna. And then our life becomes sublime. Because we're always thinking how to do good for someone.
Today's the disappearance day of Srila
Gorkishore.
Babaji. There's a lot of people here that see the worship, but they don't know who he might be. Can you say something?
About Gorkishore Das Babaji, I could say so much, but we don't have any time.
That's unfortunate.
He was, because it's over the head of like new people. He was such a great devotee, so he wasn't like us. He just chanted all the time. And he didn't live anywhere, he didn't care about anything. The way he would eat was just bag a little rice from a few houses and soak it in water till it got soft and then eat that. That was all. He never asked for anything. He never accepted any donation or anything from anybody. He just chanted all the time. And he loved to hear about Krishna. So he's just a great example and of total devotion to Krishna, not caring for anything else. Even when he was getting old, he was losing his eyesight, and someone offered to take him to the doctor in Calcutta. He lived in Mayapur, which is a holy place. He said, I don't want to go to the material world, Calcutta. I don't need these eyes to see Krishna, he said. So he was very strong. He could always see through, rascal people who were hypocrites. People would come and ask him for blessings. So he would live in the, around the latrine, the public, place where people pass, where nobody wants to go, and then nobody would come and bother him. But anyway, everybody is not paying attention. So if anybody wants to pay attention, they can come after, because mostly everybody is hungry, and we don't want to keep you from honoring prasadam. And then,
for ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, his guru is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and his guru is Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. So people want to know.
It's all coming down. But he wasn't like, ordinary. So if anybody wants to hear more, or they want to ask questions, you can come.
The original social distaner.
Huh?
The original social distaner.
Yeah, he's, avadut, he's...
Kept the distance, like you said, from in the retreat.
Yeah, he stayed in one house. Rich man offered him, he said, if I can stay in the toilet room. So the guy cleaned it up, made it really nice. But he also stayed in the public one. And one time he came, he got first class. The way he dressed, he'd just get some from the crematorium, get the cloth and cut it up and just wear that. Wash it first.
Take the cloth off of the corpses.
The cloth off the dead body,
In the Ganga.
wash it in the Ganga, and then just use that.
Renunciate.
Yeah, he didn't care. But one time he got first class silk cloth and dressed up really nice. He said, because there's so many rascal Babajis, I don't want to be, I'd rather be a respectable householder than have people think I'm one of those people.
Beyond anyone's conception. And his disciple?
Well, one disciple only. One time, one young man came, dressed in the same way, and said he wanted it. So he was living with him and chanting and serving him in different ways. He didn't like to take service. But this young boy started telling everybody, I'm his disciple. So he kicked him out.
Rare.
He wasn't his disciple. Bhakti Siddhanta was the only disciple. How are you? What's your name? Are you first time or
No,
many times?
not many, but I pop in here and there.
Thank you. What can we do for you?
Thank you, so good.
Arigato, Maharaj.
Huh?
Arigato.
I can't hear, you know.
Thank you.
There's so much noise.
Thank you.
If we want to really have a lecture, we need to isolate the people that want to hear the lecture. And the other ones can do whatever they want. Huh?
Are you going to continue speaking?
Huh?
Are you going to continue service, or are you finished?
If I'm going to what?
Are you going to continue service, or are you finished for tonight?
No, I can go on if somebody has a question or wants to hear something.
I'm just listening.
Huh?
Learn through this.
I can talk all night, but
I love that.
and then just stick around. Thank you.
There are questions, I'll listen.
Any question or comment?
No difference from appearance and disappearance days?
Disappearance of a great saint is appearance somewhere else. And they're always present in their teachings, in their life example. Gorkishore Das Babaji, he didn't write books or give lectures or anything. But if people came to him, he would speak very strongly. One young couple came and the man asked, please give blessing for the marriage. So he told him that having a devotee wife is very, very special and rare. So you should worship your wife. And every day you should cook a nice feast for her and offer and think of her as Krishna Dasi. So that way you won't think she's my servant. Because most men, they think when they get a wife, now I have my servant. He said, but you shouldn't think that. You should think this is Krishna's servant. I have to serve her. And then the wife should honor the husband also, but, you know. But that's shocking to people to hear that kind of talk. But that's actually the fact. So he didn't pull any punches. He couldn't read and write, but he knew everything because he would very attentively listen to great saintly people speaking. So he just chanted all the time.
So at that time, there was Bhaktisiddhanta, Gorkishore Das Babaji,
Yeah.
that you were
Bhakti Vinod.
Vinod on the planet, right?
Yeah.
And Vamsi Das Babaji.
Yeah, he was sometime around that, even more far out. But.
It's a very powerful time.
Yeah, so this is how knowledge is coming down and the teachings are coming down and through different people. There's still some like that. They're just completely detached, but mostly they take that dress, but they don't live like that. People honor them because they take that dress and they take advantage mostly, even in those days. So, but he was a genuine. So, and we're just, you know, trying to chant a little bit. He was chanting at least 200,000 names, 128 rounds every day. You know, like we chant 16 rounds and it's not so easy sometimes. I don't have time. But it's because we don't have love for the holy name, and that's why we're distracted. If someone chants that much, they have to have love for Krishna and love for the holy name. Then they can chant. Just like if somebody loves their dog, they can call the name of the dog all day long. You know, they can think about the dog all day. So, but better to think of Krishna.
So those paintings are all the original
Yeah, this is a disciplic succession, so Gorkashore is there, over right there.
Famous.
So we can't imitate, of course, and live like that. He would just sit in the hot sun. He'd just find some old boat, that's upside down, and sit under that, get some shade. One day it was a disappearance day of Sanatana Goswami, which is a very festival day. And he told his associate, we'll have a big festival. And he was thinking, a festival usually means a big feast and everything. He said, how can we do that? We don't have anything. He said, no, we usually eat once in a day, but we won't eat that day. We'll just chant more, and that will be a big festival. And for him, that is a big festival. Just chant more. Because he ate so little anyway. He wouldn't accept even if people offered him. Even in Christian, St. Francis of Assisi was something like that. People would give him nice food, he'd pour cold water on it before he eat, or mix it with ashes, so he wouldn't enjoy, things like that. He said, don't worship me until I'm dead. I could fall down any minute. So he was the same type of consciousness. If he felt some lusty desire, he'd go out and roll in the snow or something. Try to.
Thakur had to come to him a few times to convince him to take Bhakti Siddhanta as a disciple.
Yeah. So he would, even though he was super respected Babaji, he would come and listen to Bhaktivinoda Thakur speak. And Bhaktisiddhanta saw him from when he was young and admired him so much. And then Bhaktivinoda said, you have to be initiated by him. And he said, no, I'm not taking any disciples. And besides that, you're a great scholar and all these things, and I'm just illiterate. And Bhaktisiddhanta said that at that time he was proud. I'm a great scholar, I'm very famous and, a great speaker and so many things. But he said when he met Gorkashore like that, then all that went away. He saw that this Gorkashore was so much greater than him, even though he was illiterate and had nothing. People honored him, but unfortunately the common people, they come to saintly people and just ask, for material things. Like Prabhupada, he was on the train. And so India, there's a lot of people on the train. And the devotees tried to keep the door closed, but some men got in. When somebody went out and they came in, Swamiji, can you give me blessing? My knee is hurting me. My daughter is taking her exams. Can please give blessing? She can graduate. So there were devotees there, and all shaved head and tilak, and Prabhupada said, you see these boys and girls? This is my blessing. Do you want that? And they said, oh, Swamiji, we have to go now.
The Galman?
Huh?
He was going to put the Galman on them?
No, do you want to be like that? This is my blessing. You give up everything. You shave your head. You just give up family. You give up everything. You give up your country and just chant Hare Krishna. They said, well, Swamiji, we have to go now.
Not what they wanted to hear.
No, guru is not for material gain, That comes, we're trying to teach, that's going to come anyway. That's by your karma. Jesus taught like that, everybody teaches. Why you worry for gain and safety? Why are you worried where will I get food? Where, you know, all the animals are eating, the homeless people are eating, everybody's eating, sleeping. I mean, you know, I don't think I could sleep the way these homeless people do, but somehow they do it. Just on the cold side. In Japan, at least, they find some cardboard and put that. Some of them just put newspaper, then they sleep. Even though it's cold floor, you know. Whether it's, they have no choice, but other people can't sleep even in a $5,000 bed with medicine and with all the apps now to help you sleep, they still can't sleep. It's a big thing, right? How many apps of meditation that are advertised so you can sleep? People's mind is so disturbed, they can't sleep. Body is so disturbed.
And then when they're asleep, they're haunted by their dreams.
Yeah. I was going to give it to her. You should share it after.
My question is, killing people and ingratitude. What is the worst sin? Murder and ingratitude. Which is the worst sin?
Well,
Ingratitude or murder?
ingratitude is,
Which is the worst sin that Krishna cannot take?
I don't know. Ingratitude is very bad, though.
It's very bad.
Yeah. Someone is not grateful.
Out of Prabhupada's all his titles, your ever well-wisher pretty much
Thank you
sums
very
it up.
Thank you very much. That's
Thank
very
you.
important.
My second question is,
But thank you, it's not just words, you have to do something.
You have to feel it.
Same thing, apology, you know, you have to do something. You have to change the way you're acting, otherwise just say, oh, I'm sorry, you know. I'm sorry now, please let me do it again. I know you're a good guy. I know you people are so nice. You'll forgive me, and I don't have to change, no. Real apology means you change. Okay, so we'll stop there. Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you, Swami.
What was your name?
Kavicandra Swami.
Kavicandra Swami.
Yeah.
Kind of, I got it. Kavi Swami.
I tell people Casey.
Casey, there we go.
Casey Swami.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll be
Give
back.
us the,
Oh, no.
no,
that's
give it
fine.
to her.
It's really
No, please take.
Next time.
No, this time. You can give it to someone else, but
Thank you.
no, you can't refuse charity.
Okay.
It's not gratitude. You have to,
That's not gratitude.
yeah, you have to take
I'm
it.
grateful. Thank you so much. It's beautiful.
Okay? Thank you.
Aww.
Yeah, it's super blessed. It's been on the deity, it's been on Prabhupada, it's been on,
It's okay. Oh no, I'm dropping it.
that's all right.
I'll sprinkle it outside.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll be back, okay?
Okay. We have prasadam downstairs, and we have really nice
I'm on a strict diet, but thank you.
books. Take a books and
I have books.
take more.
Take more.
Distribute them.
I enjoyed your lecture.
Huh?
I enjoyed your lecture.
Thank you. You're just a nice guy. You appreciate things. So are you taking prasadam?
Yes, like in a few minutes anyway. That's a level of asceticism like I don't think I could possibly match just eating like wet rice every day and like chanting by the latrines. that's a level of asceticism that I know I couldn't match, like just eating, wet rice every day and chanting right away.
Not even cooked.
Yeah.
If you were chanting, then the eating is just not a concern. The pleasure.
128 rounds a day. That I guess that probably takes up like almost the entire day.
Yeah, well, for people like that, they can chant 16 rounds in about an hour and a half.
Right.
So, still, it's a good, because he went around doing other things, preaching and talking to people.
Right.
And that's minimum. Might chant much more than that. So we have a long way to go, but if we chant 16 rounds every day, Prabhupada will bless us, and eventually we can chant more.
Right.
Okay, I need to do my meditation, so give me a few minutes.
How are you? Nice to hear your class. So,
How are my? I don't know.
Maharaj going to Mayapur this festival?
I hope so.
I just returned from Mayapur. Hopefully I'll go again.
Huh?
I just returned from Mayapur, but I'll go back again.
Yeah, they're having Parikrama, and seems to be no more so-called Novid, COVID, whatever it is.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please accept this as my donation.
Thank you. You have to take some books in. Very nice. Take some Bhagavad Gita and give to somebody. You're going for prasad now?
No, I'm leaving.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Oh, yeah.
I'm leaving. Yeah, maybe next Sunday.
Because we want, I know you have books, but we want to help. We need help to distribute.
Yeah,
So you give a donation, I don't want to just take money, I like to
yeah.
give some books.
Next time, next time.
No, this time.
Next Sunday.
This time.
Oh, this time, okay.
All right? I'll go out there with you. Namo Vishnu Padaya. Krishna Prastaya Budale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Thanksgiving. Yuck.
That is okay with me. Yeah, I got it.